Hi, everyone. It's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is author Taunya T.D. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. I am doing awesome. It's so great to have you here. And I want to start it out with you just giving our audience a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Taunya T.D. I am the author of Smart Alec Alex. That is a new African American children chapter series that I have started. But outside of that, I'm here. I'm from Maryland. I went to McKinley High School along with Racine. And I am
Oh,
a federal, yes, I am a federal government worker. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And I have one daughter. She is a college graduate from Kent State University.
ah.
And then, I have a partner. So I just moved to Baltimore. So I'm pretty excited about that. But
Oh,
that's
you
pretty
just
much
moved to
me.
Baltimore. I like
Yes,
Baltimore a
I
lot.
did.
I've been doing a lot of stuff there very since, very recently. So I'm a fan of Baltimore.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm
Yes.
just getting adjusted. I mean, I've been here for at least 9 months now, I think. I bought a house out
Mm.
here. So yeah, I'm still getting acclimated, trying to find my niche in the house as far as writing and stuff like that. But been working from home since March of 2020. So we haven't
Yes.
started going back into the office yet. So I am kind of looking forward to that. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I'd rather work from home, but I'm having fun working from home. But I miss my friends,
Hmm.
that lunch crew with your girls and everything. So yeah, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're here to talk about your Smart Alec Alex book series. And
Yes.
I mean, first of all, I have to say that I know for many people, having a book series, starring a smart African American girl is something that is just so amazing. That's just so good. And someone for little kids to relate to look up to. What really inspired you to begin this series?
I think what inspired me to begin this series is myself and my daughter. Although it's called Smart Alec Alex, Alex is a smart Alec. She is
Mm-hmm.
smart, but most of these kids, they have their own little personality
Uh-huh.
and
A
they,
little precocious.
yes. So they get a little funky sometimes with how they
Mm-hmm.
come back at you. Now, I didn't make her too disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
but she is the kind of African American girl that speaks her mind. So a lot of her personality either comes from myself, my daughter India, and a lot comes from my mom. My mother is like totally hilarious. So a lot of the things that are in my book relate to the kids of today, but it also relates to you and I,
Yeah.
people my age. When they read the book, they see some of the things that they can relate to that happened to them back in the day that I kind of, bring it forward today and make it a little more fresh. So the kids are like, oh, wow, I've never heard of this before. Let me try this. Oh, I'm going to say that. But it's actually stuff that we have already tried and said back in the day. But
Mm-hmm.
they don't know that. So, Alex, just to give you an idea of the series, it's about Alex and her best friends.
Mm-hmm.
They are in the fifth grade and they are transitioning to middle school, which now is the sixth grade.
Yeah.
So they're not too sure how to adjust to what they have to do, which is actually changing classes and dealing with different teachers.
Mm.
So in the first book, they're actually dealing with teachers that have personalities that reflect their names. So it's pretty hilarious. All of my books are just basically concentrating on fun. I wanted something to just be totally hilarious, but relatable to the kids today.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, when she was coming up, we didn't have any African American series for her to read or to, relate to books that the kids look like her.
Yeah.
We were, Junie B. Jones, Bedelia, and I'm like, it's fine and cool, but where are we? So that's what prompted me to do it. And actually, I created Alex about 13 years ago.
Really,
Yes,
really.
I created her 13 years ago, and I wanted to put it out, and I did, but I used a vanity company, which was not a good idea, because with vanity companies, all they're concerned with is how much money you want to spend, in order to get your product out. So I had to do a lot of research. So I really didn't pursue it as much as I'm doing now, because then I was concentrating more on my daughter, and her schooling, and make sure she was on point, make sure we got scholarships for college and all that stuff. So my girlfriend was like, India's in school now and she's doing her own thing. You really need to revisit Alex, because how Alex really came about is, best friend and I got a part-time job with the company. It was I think a marketing company for radio, and I was not feeling it. I just did not like it. And I'm sitting there, creative people, we get distracted real quick.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, everybody else is calling people, trying to get them to take these surveys. I just started writing, and I just started writing about any and everything. And before I knew it, within probably 2 or 3 weeks, I had a book. And so I don't even know how I came up with Smart Alec Alex. I think it was a thing that I just wanted something that was just going to roll off my tongue.
Yes.
And her whole name is Alexandra P. Know-It-All.
Ah.
So, yeah. So since she thinks she knows everything, her little friends have to kind of bring her back to reality every now and again. But she has that savvy tongue where she comes back at you with the quickness. And it's just really a fun story. I tell people all the time, I don't have an issue with those who are putting books out there that's teaching us about our skin color, about our hair texture, about bullying and stuff like that. But I just feel that the kids today, they need an outlet. They don't need to worry about everyday issues. When I leave the house, am I going to make it home safe? Am I even going to be able to come back home? Because it's just so much going on in the world today. I wanted to do something that was going to draw them in, not so much the younger audience. I wanted to capture the preteens, because those are the ones that, they get distracted real quick, and they get into things they don't have any business getting into. And
it's so good for them to have a book to read, because preteens nowadays, they're on the phones, they're on the iPad.
Don't read.
Right. That. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
yes, that's why I had to work hard at trying to put something together that was going to basically draw them in and make it interesting and funny, where they didn't mind picking up that Smart Alec Alex book,
of course,
and reading it. And then I was a little concerned with the fact that I had 3 girls and only 1 boy. Well, I wanted to capture the male audience too, but it never seemed to be a problem. I don't care where I went and what I did. I pretty much got more boys buying the book than the girls. So what I did to accommodate the boys, I added another character, which is coming up in the new book.
In the new
his
one.
Name is, yes, and his name is Arrogant Aaron.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be Alex. He's going to give Alex a little run for her money.
Run for her money.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So, what's the response been like? What's the response been like from kids, from parents? Like, what's it been like since the books have been out?
Since the book has been out, it has taken a shape and form of its own.
Yeah.
I did one interview. I'll say this, and I didn't ask. I know, because I used to be in the industry, in the music industry years ago. And so the one thing that I have learned is, Whatever it is you want, you go for it yourself. You don't look for handouts. You don't ask people for favors and all that other stuff. You just did what you needed to do to get to where you wanted to be. So what I did was I put together a book signing, which was at the Laurel Boys and Girls Club. My daughter went to school for PR, so she did a lot. She did the website, she did a lot of the promotions for me. And we just put the word out there, just hoping people would come to the book signing. You know, I'm not out there. People don't know who I am in that aspect. Mm-hmm. So I was a little nervous about it. But my cousin called me and said, look, I see what you're doing and I like what you're doing and I want you to come on my show. Now, to tell you who my cousin is, she is Renee Nash from HUR, WHUR. Mm-hmm. So she said, look, tomorrow, if you can get here, I want to put you on the Bobby Gale show for taking it to the streets. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay. At first I thought about it. I was like, well, I gotta work. But then I was like, no, wait a minute. This is a chance of a lifetime because Bobby Gale's is actually aired during the Steve Harvey morning show. So a lot of people would hear about it. And so I did do that show the next day. From that, it took a shape and form of its own. I did a book signing at Iverson Mall during the Christmas holidays and had a lady come up to me with her child, and her daughter was in a Catholic uniform. Mm-hmm. And she said, she said, I brought my daughter to buy your book because actually her class are using it in their reading. And I'm like, really? Wow. You know? So she's like, yeah, the teacher is on her way with the remaining class members. And some of them have books and some of them don't. So they need to buy, they wanted to get the book signed. They wanted pictures and all that other stuff. So as she was telling me about it, the teacher walked up and she said, she said, I was quite impressed with the changing schools and classroom rules because I have a 5th grade class and they're getting ready to move over to 6th grade. So when I picked up the book after hearing about it on HUR, I decided I wanted to create a whole curriculum from that book. And so she did. She gave me the curriculum and everything as to what she was doing with the class and how she was teaching the class with this book. And I just burst into tears because it was just so rewarding to see that. Yes. But you know, other and then the kids, they come up to me and they've already read the book and they want to talk about it, and they talked about the book and I don't even remember what's in the book. So they come to me and they're telling me about certain parts of the book that they liked and they thought this part was funny and this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay, I need to go back and read this book because they know more about the book than I do. Yeah. But from, you know, doing the book signings and the book fairs, the response has been overwhelming.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Within, I would say, and I did all 3 books within 1 year. That second year, just trying to get it out there and circulating, it was very not too difficult because I was running into people that were willing to help, but it just has flourished to the point where it's a little bit of pressure now because it's like, okay, I already read these 3 books. Now when's the 4th one coming out? So, you know, I got a lot of people coming at me.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and there's other things that I want to do with it is, you know, as well. I want to create a whole curriculum around the series and kind of pitch it to the schools.
Okay. And I know you have been doing so much with it because you have merch. I know you have so much smart Alec Alex merch. You are getting into that. And I love what you've done because you've created this character. And one of the things about creating a character is that you can create so many more things from that character, around that character, and the merchandise. So how has that been for you?
The sweatshirt, you're just showing the sweatshirt is my biggest seller.
I love
Yeah, and
it.
I
I
have
love it.
on one of the sweatshirts. So, when
Two.
people
Okay, yes.
see the embroidered letters and stuff like that, it depends on what the person wants. It's getting to the point where I may have to outsource because I do this myself. I
Ah.
am when they order and they want it customized and they tell me what they want, I'm the one that's actually doing it. But it's
Ah.
getting to be a little heavy on my shoulders because I shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be I shouldn't be concentrating on the creating part of the book and still have to concentrate on the paraphernalias as well because
Yeah.
I have other things too. I mean, I've got pouches, crossover pouches.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the beanies, the hats,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the t-shirts. You got the sweatshirts. I have pencil holders,
Mm-hmm.
folders for the kids for school. So, it is growing. It is growing. And I'm just trying to find my way through it, basically, because it
Certainly.
is, I'm just overwhelmed. And then people will ask when I'm at what you saw in that last post where you had
Mm-hmm.
all the paraphernalia with the book bag and all that stuff.
Yeah.
When I do the fairs, I give away about 20 of the book bags. And in those book bags,
Ah.
yeah, in the book bags comes other paraphernalias. You got the cups. They will get a free t-shirt of the latest book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then other things that come along with it. So people ask, well, how can you afford to do that? Because you're not really making any money. Well, for me personally, it's not about the money. It's just something that I really like to do. And when it comes to giving, I'm real extra when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't look at it cheaply and throw whatever in the bag just to give them, some free, stuff to go along when they buy the book. I want to give them quality stuff. So yeah, I do spend the money, but I do it because I can,
Yeah.
so it's not a thing where I'm looking to make money from it because anybody will tell you when it comes to books, unless you sign a major deal with a publisher, you're not going to make a whole lot of money right off the bat. It's going to take you a
Mm-hmm.
good 3 to 5 years in order to get to where you want to be. And even with that, I think you would have to sign with a major company, which I'm not really looking to do because then I feel like I would lose my creativity.
Mm.
They would want to take over what it is that I'm doing and probably do a lot of changes. And I don't want to destroy what's working for me thus far. So I don't
Certainly.
mind, I don't mind doing that stuff. It gives me great joy when the kids buy the book and then they get a treat out of it. And when they open up that bag and see, oh wow, a t-shirt, a hat, and a cup and all this other stuff, that makes them come back. That's why
Yeah.
I have that's why I have a fan base because they know what I'm capable of and they know what they're
Certainly.
going to get from me when they do come to me. So,
Certainly.
it's flourishing and I think influencers are starting to take notice um, of the books per se, because I did get a message from, I don't know if you know Marcus Johnson.
Okay.
He's a
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So I'm getting some feedback from some people, which is really good.
That
That
is
that is my
amazing.
ultimate goal is
Yeah.
to I want to reach everybody. I mean, all the way down to the celebrities that have kids.
Yeah.
If we
Mm-hmm.
want to support one another and Black Lives Matter, then buy black. Let's
Yeah.
all kind of stick together
And
and
speaking
make this
of that,
last.
how can people, get your books, get, paraphernalia if they want to? How can they go about doing that? And when can they expect the next book in the series?
They can go to my website, which is Smart Alec Alex, and that's
Mm-hmm.
without the K. So that's Smart Alec ALEC,
Mm-hmm.
Alex ALEX.com.
Mm-hmm.
On my website is all the paraphernalias, as well as the book. Right now, I
Mm-hmm.
have 3 of them. So there's a bundle. If you get all 3 books, I think it's $25 for all 3, but they're 10 a piece. The one on the end, which is cheerleading into some mess, is the one that is on its way. I am working on that one as we speak. So they can go to my website, but if you Google my name, which is T.D. Saeed, T.D. Saeed, all of the stuff will come up in regards to where you can get the book, like Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. The series is already overseas. I've gotten some responses from, I think it was France, got some in Europe and Australia. So it's making the rounds. And then, if anybody wants to contact me personally, they can contact me at TD Said, SAID, at smartalecalex.com. You can get in contact with me that way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, TD Said, for being here with me today. It has been such a pleasure talking with you. It has been really, really good. So thank you. And thank you for, your work and putting your art out there, because I'm sure so many people, are able to connect and have fun with everything that Smart Alec Alex is doing. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.